Hi, welcome to NYX Notes. This is episode one of hopefully many of Coach Julie and Allison, and we are going to have common themes of conversations about how we coach triathletes. So we just thought it might be fun for us to share our thoughts, insights, so that you could become a better triathlete, maybe learn what goes on in our heads when we look at things on a daily, weekly, monthly basis.
Yeah,
Um, so we decided to start today with communication. Um, I'll kick it off. I think my biggest thing is like literally you cannot over communicate. Like I very rarely does an athlete give me too much information. So it is, we have all this post comment boxes in there for how did the workout go? And like a smiley face or a done does like zero for me. Like clearly it's done because it's green, right? But here's like the stuff I want to know. Like I hit the intervals, I crushed the intervals, I did this, I felt like I was going to die, I felt like I was going to vomit. Oh my God, that was so hard. Oh my God, that was so easy. And then some people say, well, I don't want to say it's easy because I could go harder. But what was the intent of the workout? How did you execute the workout? And how did you feel overall? So then I know, are we building on this? Are we growing from this? Yes, I can look at the data, the paces, but other than that, I've got nothing.
totally. The other thing I find interesting is that you can have, like, you give two runs that are pretty similar across 2 weeks, and the runs can come back with almost identical data. And, one run's going to feel great and one run's going to feel like shit. But you don't know that in either direction without the comment. So it's really hard to understand, like, how hard did you have to work to hit the numbers, even if everything was green and you hit all the pace targets? Um, the other thing that I find so challenging is when the workouts aren't green, they're orange or they're yellow or they're red. And especially if there's a whole swath of them and there's no comments, because I know there's a reason, right? There's always a reason that an athlete misses a workout or, had to cut something short. And it's usually not because they were binge watching Netflix. So
100%.
I right? Like our athletes don't
Yeah.
do that. So we know that they have a reason. They have a good reason that something didn't go according to plan. And when I don't know what that reason is, I just start guessing and kind of making up a narrative like, oh, I bet they're having a really busy week at work. Maybe there's a work crisis. Maybe their dog got sick. Maybe their kid got sick. Maybe they got COVID. It's so much easier to have that backdrop provided before I look at TrainingPeaks or even just in the TrainingPeaks workouts. Like if there's a red workout with a
Yeah.
comment on it, it's great because then I understand the context.
Right. How many times have you gone down the rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, this person hasn't done 3 workouts in 3 days? And yeah, all the reasons, like what is happening and why. And then all of a
Yes,
sudden they all upload and they're like, oh, my watch was dead or I
totally.
was not in service. And we've gone down this whole path of what is going on. Oh my God, was Sunday's workout? Are they recovered? Did they hurt
Yes,
themselves? Did they
yes.
this? And I don't think people, maybe our athletes don't realize how much we think about them. Like,
Yeah,
how are they doing? What is going on? What happened? Like when things don't come together, there's sort of this, I genuinely care and want to know.
yes.
So I think my request is no longer put done because that's obvious. Other than maybe like in a mobility workout, we could put done because then there's some comment in there because then I get the flag because I
Yeah.
tell people if there's no
Oh,
comments,
right.
I don't see the workout.
That's fair.
So to all of you who say done, that's great. But like if it's a crack workout and you click done, not enough.
No,
Like, no, I
no.
would like all the details. What was good? What wasn't good? How hard
Yeah.
was it? And all the other things too. I mean, we go into the longer stuff too. It's like, let's talk about your fueling,
Yes.
it's helpful. Like
Especially on,
or someone's like, oh my God, I totally struggled. And sometimes I'll circle back and they'll be like, oh, I had a tablespoon of peanut butter. I'm like, great. And you just swim and a run. Like we're completely under fuel. Like
yeah.
that 1,000,000% is what is going on there.
Yeah. I feel like, especially for those long bikes and bricks and long runs, if you add that fueling piece in, it could even be, if you have a fueling plan that's dialed in and we both know about it, then just say, like, I fueled according to plan, it went fine. Or if we're
Yeah.
still like working on that, then provide a lot of detail. Because I'll go in, I break out a calculator, like how many carbs did you get per hour? How much fluid did you get per hour? Is that what we were talking about? Do we think that's enough? Or if you did what we thought and you felt great, great, then that's the plan we stick with. If you did what we thought and you kind of faded, okay, maybe we need to up the
Mhm.
carbs, maybe we need to up the sodium.
Right. Right. But
Yeah.
the other piece too is like at some point in whatever, like, oh, and by the way, my foot still hurts.
Yeah.
And then how many times do you go back like for the last 3 weeks looking like, where did the comment come that my foot started hurting?
Yes.
Right. So like all those little niggles of like, if it starts, when it starts, put it in there. Again,
Yes.
like I
Agreed.
don't think you can over communicate that in there.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and
but I think the
also,
message,
go ahead.
but no, I was going to say, like, I feel like the more you give me, the more you get from me.
Totally.
Because for me to reply to done is I'm now guessing things and figuring things out versus first hour, second hour. And I'm always going to dive into the metrics for any, any of the major workouts and the paces. But it's also for people who want to learn how they did. Like I had some people say, you just tell me how the workout went. And that's fine. I mean, I provide all the data,
Yeah.
but I find when people actually start to extrapolate their intervals, they'll say
Hmm.
everything went great. And then I'll go in there and be like, well, sort of, like we
Yeah.
stated, badly there. So, but, I mean, that's on the athlete. If the athlete wants to be that involved, um, I do that as an athlete. I pull all my data out. I want
Yeah.
to see how they went, how did they go, where was my power, where was my heart rate, whatever. But if you don't do that, then that's okay. But the info is key.
I agree. It's really hard to be more engaged than your athlete is. So when your athlete doesn't give you a comment, you're right. You don't have as much to respond to. It's like your data looks good, your heart rate looks
Yeah,
good, or your heart rate was high. If the athlete
yeah,
says, oh, I kind of bonked at the end, but it was hot out, then it's like, oh, okay, we can talk about how you adjust your paces in the heat.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the other
I,
thing too, somebody
oh,
said to me, you can't care as a coach. You should never care more than your athlete.
that's fair. Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
you think about it,
Sometimes we
you
do,
worry
but
about it.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good benchmark
Yeah.
for sure.
So I do also tell my athletes, and I feel like as a coach, it makes it more entertaining to read the workout comments that I give bonus points for personality and sarcasm.
Yeah,
Right. The workouts, like, it
yeah.
doesn't have to be like you're writing up a book report, your workout comments. Like,
Oh,
and you know me, I talk like a
yeah.
sailor. So there's like no language that's off limits. Throw in all the poop emojis, but
Yeah.
color commentary is welcome.
Oh, yeah. No, I have a couple that I repost on Instagram because they are quite
Yeah.
amusing, and it's just fun. It's very entertaining. It gives me.
Yes.
I have one. It's like we call it the life and times of the pool because it's like a soap opera. So she like titles it that and gives me all the drama at the pool,
Oh, that's fun.
along with whatever the workout goes. But that's
Yeah.
wildly entertaining too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all
Yeah.
right.
All right. Well, I think
So
that's our good summary of coach
I
athlete
just
communication. Yeah. Look, we so appreciate that you guys are listening and watching, and just know that we really welcome all your feedback, comments, and suggestions. So please reach out. We want to know what you care about and what you want to hear about. Yeah. Till
all
next
right.
time.